Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Serein, and today's video is going to be a brand review. So I'm going to be testing out the Thrive Causemetic products. I actually haven't tested a lot of Thrive Causemetic products since the initial launch of the brand. When they first launched, they launched with these like hybrid glosses that were absolutely beautiful. I loved them. I used them quite a lot. Since then, they've launched a ton of new things. I know they're very popular with their mascara, but I still have some lash extensions in, so I won't be testing that today. However, I have brow products, face products, blush, as well as a palette. Very, very excited. I'm gonna throw it all on my face, give you my initial first impression. I'm gonna do a wear test so you'll see how everything looks at the end of the day. I always love supporting a brand that has a mission statement of giving back to a community. So that's the founding principles of Thrive Causemetics. And if you hear Lillian, she's fighting her nap. Don't worry, our nanny is with her. Someone is with her. Without further ado, let's get started. Need some lip balm. This is the Jouer Essential Lip Enhancing Matte Balm. This product is the Buildable Blur CC Cream, and I have the shade Beige, which has neutral undertones. Blur Effect Technology, Broad Spectrum SPF 35. There is a combination of chemical and physical SPF, which is great for full protection. This I first heard about through Whitney Simmons, and she was like obsessed with this product. I love the packaging. I think it's a really great like on-the-go packaging. I love that it comes in a squeezy pump. A lot of times with pumps you don't get that last little bit of product, but when it's a squeezy pump it's very easy to like squeeze in there and get it. Oh, this might be a little too dark, but it's okay. It's okay. Better a little too dark than a little too light for me, because I find that when products are too light, it can actually cause a lot of, this is very orangey though on me. When products are too light, you can see more of the, this is really bad. This is like, this was not what it looked like online. Oh no. I don't know if I can make this work. Oh boy. I'm so bummed because this was like the product I really wanted to try. This isn't beige, this is like tan for me. Hopefully it will blend in. Products are too light, it tends to accentuate your pores and any discoloration and any textural issues. So at least, hopefully, I don't know, because this is like way too dark. We'll work with it. This is like not even my summer shade. It doesn't look that bad in the viewfinder. I'm hoping it doesn't look that bad when I edit this. We can still make this work for a wear test. Okay, we're bringing in the sponge. So despite the shade being way too dark, I kind of am obsessed with how it feels already, because it feels super moisturized and hydrated without feeling greasy or overly moisturized and wet. It feels really, really lovely actually on the skin. I also like that it is a broad spectrum SPF 35. You always want to wear a 30 or higher. Per my dermatologist, you want a combination of chemical and physical whenever possible. However, if you're super sensitive to chemical SPFs, then at least have the physical. Pretty impressive in terms of a texture of a CC cream, because it's giving me coverage and it has the SPF and it has a nice, really nice feel on the skin. I really like the way it feels. In recent years, I cannot wear things that just feel like makeup on my skin anymore. Really impressed with that. I'm gonna try and lighten things up with my concealers, and the concealers I've been using lately is from Kevyn Aucoin. It is the Super Natural Concealer, and then this is the Corrector. So I have the shade EC Corrector, and then I have the shade Light EC01 as a concealer. Probably go a little bit darker in my concealer, but I like it for a brightening effect. So I'm just kind of correcting the dark areas under my eyes. And I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender and blot that real quick. With my concealer I'm using 01. And hopefully this will also kind of balance out the fact that my base is a little too light. Let me just do that. Normally I wouldn't use this much concealer, but I'm just trying to balance out the fact that this shade is a little too bronze for me. But it's starting to like kind of melch within my skin. Is that a word, melch? So it's not looking too bad. So as it kind of warms up and blends in with my skin, it doesn't look too drastic as when I first started to apply this, which is nice. So these concealers, personally, I feel like they kind of self-set, and I don't notice having to set it right away, but I am going to because I'm going to be wearing all of this for a while. I'm also going to be working out later. Blotting my brush, and then I'm kind of pressing the powder in, and then I'm going to press it in. But I'm only really pressing it into the areas that I tend to sweat the most and be the oiliest. And then of course my chin and jawline because of wearing a mask. I don't know that I need a bronzer, but we're gonna go in with my Vanessa Myricks bronzer. This is a cream bronzer I've been using. I have some brow products from Thrive Causemetics. This is the Infinity Waterproof Eyebrow Liner with Buildable Spark Pigment in the shade Serein, which is dark brunette black. It's always hard to decide which shade to get for myself because I have very dark hair, but oftentimes black or dark brunette can be too stark for me because I do have pretty sparse lashes. So let's try this. I do like the formula. It's nice and waxy, but not too waxy where I can't get a good control, and it does a nice job at filling in. Pretty easy to use. I like the shape and the size of this pencil. Spoolie is not my favorite. It blends really well. I really like this pencil actually. This is a good brow pencil. Let's see how long it lasts and wears. It's supposed to be waterproof, so I'm assuming it could be sweat proof or just life proof, maybe mom proof, because my daughter likes to rub her face against me. I've actually used this before and I really like this product. This is the Semi-Permanent Eyebrow Gel Instant Brow Fix, and this is in Serein Dark Brunette Black. Spoolie is awesome. I think this is one of the best spoolies when it comes to a brow mascara. I like using a brow product like this to add a little definition and kind of thickness and texture to the brow. I have very, very sparse brows. I have brow hairs, they're just very thin and sparse. So by using a mascara like this, it really helps kind of keep my wispy brows in place, but also provides a nice texture. It's kind of like texture spray for your brows. So I really like this product. I think it's one of my favorite things I've tried from Thrive. Granted, I haven't tested a ton. Next up, I have the Cosmo Powder. It's a ring light technology multi-dimensional strobing blush. I love blush, and this is in Angelina. It's a golden brick shimmer. This is what it looks like. It's kind of like a mosaic blush. I recently learned this from a masterclass, is just like whenever you have color, press it onto your hand first and then put it on your face so that you have a nice almost airbrush finish. It's been a game changer. I like that. It's very pigmented and a really pretty color. Very, very pigmented, but it went on really smooth. I like that. I'm also gonna put a little bit on my nose. That's like the trend now, I think. Okay, let's do some eye makeup. So very excited to test out this Warm Neutrals palette. I first saw this on Jamie Makeup. Love Jamie. She's a friend. I feel like I'm gonna call her a friend. I've known her for years and she's just such a great person. And now she has her own brand as well, but she's a celebrity makeup artist. Got a really nice mirror, and then it says, "You're perfect just the way you are." That's nice. So I always like to set my lid with something like this, and this is going to be Madeline, which I appreciate that this is a larger size because that's always the shade I go through first, if I go through any, because let's be honest, I rarely go through makeup. And then I think I'm gonna go in with Bethany, which is this like taupey brown, and put that in my crease. It's very smooth, very blendable. I think I'm gonna use this shade because it's really pretty Frida. It's like an orangey brown on the outer corner. I like that. I feel like the shadows are really nice. I'm gonna use this shimmery shade, which is Winnie on the center. It's like a really pretty champagne. Very, very pretty champagne shade. Using the Frida shade. Eyeshadows I feel like went on really smooth. I didn't have any issues blending them. They're really good quality shadows, and I like this little palette because there's a lot of things you can do with it. And then I'm going to use the Lauren Black Demi Shine Intimate Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner, Infinity Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner, Semi-Permanent Micro Pigment Technology. I'm gonna shake this up. Might not be able to get this fully on camera just because I gotta use like both hands on deck here. So first impressions on this. I do really like the brush. It's very thin, but because it is, I think, still a felt, even though it's a very nice thin felt and it does bend, it does skip a little bit. So I'll need to work with it. It's not impossible to use. I've used way more difficult brushes. This one is not difficult. It's just different. Finish is a little bit more glossy than I typically like my black liquid liner. However, it doesn't look super glossy. It's that semi-gloss like it says. It's just up to personal preference. I did have to go in and kind of fix this wing, so I had to use like an oil-based eye makeup remover because this eyeliner like sticks. So now I kind of messed up my eyeshadow. So we're gonna ignore this side of my eyeshadow and focus on the wear test on this side, which is my right side. Finishing off the look, I am just going to put some highlight on my cheeks, cheekbone. I'm just using my current go-to lip combo. This is from Kevyn Aucoin. This is the Unforgettable Lip Definer in Divine. And then this is the Kevyn Aucoin, I can't read that, but it's their Lipstick in Devastating Matte. I love this formula and I like the applicator because it's like a thin bullet. Even though the shade looked a little scary from the Buildable Blur CC cream, it actually isn't that bad. I am pretty happy with everything and I will check back in a couple hours. It's almost 4 p.m. and I'm standing by a window, so I thought I would share with you guys how everything is wearing. I'm pretty impressed with the CC cream. It just feels like skin, but I see the coverage. Really flawless. My trash can just opened. I really love the way it feels on the skin. It's super, super lightweight. I was wearing a mask and walked Chance, so it hasn't worn off in weird spots. And even though the shade was like way too warm for me and deep, it's somehow like blurred and made everything work. It just looks really good. The eyeshadow's wearing well, the eyeliner's wearing well, the brows are wearing well. I like that it's not crispy and sticky, but it's still in place. I also like the blush. The blush is still there considering I wore a mask a couple times today already. Really loving the CC. And I don't even care that it was so warm because looking at it in natural light, it doesn't look like it didn't match, if that makes sense. It definitely did do like a blurring thing and kind of meshed with my skin. It gives me just enough coverage, but not full coverage because I don't want that full coverage look. I want it to look like just healthy, radiant skin, but even everything out, and that's what it did. I just can't believe how lightweight it feels and how like my skin it feels. It doesn't feel like it's greasy or dry or too moisturizing. Because you know I'm combination oily right here. So I am a little more oily right here, but it looks so natural. I'm loving it.